Welcome back to the Crypto's Key Conversation. It's going to be a quicker video today, so we're just going to jump straight into it. This is from Paul Barron Network's Twitter here, and this is Johnny Deaton with Paul Barron. Let's take a quick listen into this video. It's about a minute long.
What's your feeling right now? Do you think we'll see the judgment versus a settlement, or where do you think that's going to go?
Right now, I lean toward that the case isn't going to settle. And I stand by, I think, what I said to you maybe a year ago, that until Gary Gensler is faced with a loss that will cause him more political damage, where he's going to be stopped from being able to go after other crypto companies, or if those Hinman emails are finally ordered and they waste their appeals and they exhaust their appeals, and it says December, and now the SEC must turn over all those documents that they're fighting so hard. And in those documents, it gives Ripple a guaranteed win. And at that point, Gensler would, why wouldn't you politically say, okay, I'm going to settle because there's too much risk, and I'll take that settlement and get some money, and I'll brag that I was, brought them, held them responsible, et cetera, et cetera.
So shout out Johnny Deaton. Always, he says he's always going to be as honest as he possibly can based on the information that he has. So it's just going to be a waiting game to kind of see what happens. It's going to be quite interesting to see how things unfold there. There's an update here from James K. Fallon as well. It says attorney Bethan Ryan Jones has filed an application to appear and join the Ripple Labs defense team. Attorney Jones is with Kellogg Hansen. Her application and link to her bio are below, so he puts that down there. XRP Crypto says, what is the significance of the Ripple adding a new attorney? And then John E. Deaton says something right here. He says, I know people love to speculate, but it means nothing. This young associate is clearly super smart with a great pedigree. She's helping work on research and drafting the responses to the SEC's motions, so she gets to officially appear in the huge case and can add that to her resume. So I just try not to overthink all these things as they come out, especially, as James K. Fallon's constantly and continually updates us with, what's happening within litigation. And you have, our attorneys within the community from Johnny Deaton and Jeremy Hogan and the like. Just kind of interpret, what they say, try to kind of put it in my Rolodex and kind of keep it moving. Just knowing that Gary Gensler and the SEC are going to continue to do everything in their power to slow down this case, delay, and try to get as much as they can out of it. So it's just going to be a waiting game to kind of see what happens. So for me personally, these things are kind of merely interesting, but they may be powerful. I just try not to overthink them. But it's nice to know that we are getting closer to the resolution within this litigation, which is nice to hear. Right here, this is from Johnny Dean. It's a tweet thread that I thought was interesting. It says, furthering my tweet discussion with Moon Lambo and others, says this is the basic summary judgment argument by the SEC. Quote, the economic reality. Ripple funded its business by touting XRP's profit potential, selling and distributing XRP to public investors while keeping a large amount of XRP for itself, and consistent with Ripple's financial incentives, becoming the creator, architect, developer, builder, and caretaker of XRP's common enterprise. They then go on to show how Ripple promoted itself in XRP. Read the statement again. Now a question. It says, what is a common enterprise that Ripple is the caretaker of? Before answering, read this, quote, the escrow account's purpose was to remind investors of common enterprise XRP represented. The answer, the hashtag XRP ledger itself. The SEC admitted that XRP holders have no legal or financial claims in Ripple, the company, and Ripple owes XRP holders nothing. So Ripple can't be the common enterprise like the complaints claimed. The SEC expert said it was the XRP ecosystem. But the SEC dropped the expert like a bad habit and isn't relying on his testimony now. That leaves the XRPL as the common enterprise. Now, crypto community, I ask, how dangerous is that argument? The software network itself is the common enterprise. Really think about that. Absolutely nuts, man. I'm so glad we have the community we have, because I'm thinking about, like, what if we didn't have the Johnny Deans and the Jeremy Hogans and the Jason Fosters and the Liz Claymans, Eleanor Terretts, Charles Gasparinos, and all the YouTubers, all of us that are out here, having Twitter accounts, sharing information, making videos. Like, what if we all didn't come together in a decentralized way as a decentralized community to fight the good fight? Like, Everyone would literally just be running around with chickens with their head cut off, not knowing what's going on. Wow, the SEC and Chairman Gensler and people like him in that group, the incumbents, just continue to swallow up all the wealth and the opportunities that are presented to us now with crypto. It's absolutely crazy. Moving on to this, this digital asset investor says, I believe. We watched the rise of Ripple and XRP while at the same time watching the ETHgate crypto cockroaches scatter. Makes you wonder makes you wonder if someone is talking. I think about that all the time. Like, is there a whistleblower kind of like in the background subtly throwing out stuff? Is the writing, has it already been on the wall? Like, we truly believe, being XRP investors, that the writing has been on the wall for it. And it's just a matter of, when this thing takes off, not if. But like, what if the writing has already been written? Like, what if it's already been written? Like, hey, here's the deal. Here's what's going to happen with Ripple, the company, XRP. Here's how we're going to use it. It's going to, this amount of, this large percentage of the money around the world is going to be allocated and the value is going to be transferred through this. Like, what if it's already all there and all this is just kind of like a delay tactic to, or a show, if you will, to kind of lead us into that new transition of the so-called new financial system. I always think about that all the time, and I think it's super intriguing. I constantly talk about like this documentary that would come out, when everything hits the fan and someone covers the whole ETHgate scandal. And if we get those documents, which, they claim we'll never see them, but like, even if with the information that's been presented itself, to get a documentary and to get a bunch of interviews put together, it'd be super intriguing. Moving on to the next one is from Johnny Deaton. It says, with interest rates rising and the Fed putting us in a deep recession with more layoffs coming, the absolute worst thing to do is implement a policy of over-regulation. Yet this is what Gary Gensler and the SEC is doing. People can attack me if they want for saying it, but America is losing. So I've been seeing, statements like this across Twitter when conversations of kind of what's been happening, in the geopolitical side of things and what's happening with Jerome Powell and the Fed and the SEC's involvement in the crypto space and how this whole new emerging, financial institution, financial system that's supposed to be set up. Like, I've been hearing this, like, America's behind, America this, and, China that. And, I don't know, it just kind of makes you think, like, are we really? Or is it all just a show, as as the digital asset investor says, all the world's a stage? Like, what really is happening here? This is from Watcher Guru. Actually, before I get into this, I want to check this out. We're still under $1 trillion market cap. We're currently sitting at 985 billion. Bitcoin sitting at 19,323. Ethereum sitting at 1330. XRP sitting strong at 50 cents, which is huge. We're still sitting at, we're at a 24. We just had an update. When I clicked this earlier, it was at 20. I'm tripping. So we're still in the extreme fear range, though. So a lot of market uncertainty. So coming back over to this, it says, just in, Coinbase sued for $350 million over patent infringement claims. Man, probably that, that's nothing to them. It says, this from Cointelegraph says, Coinbase amasses a 4 billion war chest so it can outlast crypto winners. Strong revenues over the past 2 quarters from a large user base helped the exchange amass the funds. I mean, obviously, we know Coinbase is massive, being like one of the primary, especially in the United States, one of the primary onboarding platforms for people to get into crypto. Curious to see what's going to happen with, the whole SEC, starting this whole, they sold there was 9 securities on that platform, and they were going after the insider trading stuff with the brother and the people that were with them. Like, I'm wondering if Coinbase is going to be that exchange that, the SEC and Gary Gensler are setting up to kind of take, go after, in a sense. Just a waiting game there too. This is from Cointelegraph as well. It says, framework to ban members of Congress in the SCOTUS from trading stocks includes crypto provision. A bill based on the proposed framework banning crypto investments could help to, quote, restore the public's faith and trust in the public officials. We covered it on this channel too. I think we showed like the charts and stuff about like, the Nancy Pelosi's of the world, and, how like they all, all these government representatives have beat this, decimated the SPY and outperformed this. And they like tend to get into these stock trades, knowing that they have influence on, what's happening with whether it's the company, the technology, or the narrative behind it. And they get into these things. And obviously the so-called, as we say, insider trading stuff takes place. Who knows? I don't know if, can they actually, is it something that can actually be stopped, or is there going to be some other loophole when this new proposed framework? You know, they're going to find it. But anyways, that's the update I have for you. Make sure you come to the Crypto is Key Conversation YouTube channel. Subscribe, follow us on Twitter at Crypto is Key 1. I really appreciate your support, guys. I truly do. We just hit over 300. That is huge. Thank you so much. With all that being said, stay strong out there. Be safe.